Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over a 2020 Ford F-350 Lariat. Now, I actually already went over a F-350 Lariat earlier this year. However, it was a dually, and so I wanted to get a video up on a single rear wheel because I'm hoping to compare this to a Chevy later in the week. But anyways, as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the truck, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo, Utah for providing us with the F-350. Check out their inventory in the link below if you're in the market for a new Ford. Under the hood here of the F-350, we have the 6.7 liter Power Stroke that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. In terms of power outputs, it's 475 horsepower and then 1,050 foot-pounds of torque. Now let's go over things on the front end here of the F-350. First and foremost, this is finished in iconic silver and it looks fantastic here on the sunlight. Now I've got the headlights on for you so you can see the new LED accent lights and then the projector bulbs on top of that. But yes, this has the chrome grille since this is just a regular Lariat. Fog lights are just there at the bottom, and then you've got the chrome tow hooks. But here's kind of like a front-on angle for the F-350. Coming around to the side, we've got the tire and rim setup, which is 275, 65, 20. And yes, it's going to be chrome rims to match everything else on the truck. Got the Lariat F-350 badging there, and then the 6.7 liter Power Stroke badging. And then it actually says Ford there on the side of the mirror. This one has the standard size bed, so it's not a long bed. Another thing that I wanted to look at, but yeah, the proportion of the truck, I think it looks really good. And then by the way, we are a little bit on a hill, so that's why the truck is tilted down a little bit more than it normally would be. Here is the key fob for the F-350. It says Ford there on the back. You've got a couple functions. You've got the unlock, the lock, remote start, and then the tailgate drop down. Now to remote start it, we do have to lock it and then press that twice. It'll do the diesel preheat if it needs to. You can hear that 6.7 liter Power Stroke come to life, and then if you hold it down again, that'll shut it right off and kind of makes a very like eerie, weird sound. Next thing is the tailgate drop down, so press that twice and that'll slow lower down the tailgate itself. Notice this one does not have a bed liner. You can get that as an option, but it does have the little holes for a fifth wheel set up. LED bed lights in the back of the truck. And again, seeing this iconic silver up close, Ford did a really good job with this paint color. But here is the little step that you can pull out of the back of the truck itself, and a little handle so you can step up onto this. I actually use it on my Raptor all the time. I never thought I would, but yep, I use it. And finally, picking it up, tailgate is relatively heavy, but it's not too hard to get into place. Now let's go over things on the back end of the Lariat here. I've got the lights on so you can see what those LED accent lights look like, and they actually look really nice. Yes, we've got the FX4 package on this particular one, and then it says Super Duty there on the back with a couple parking sensors. And then you've got the whole tow package set up down there with the little plugins next to the license plate. But here is a 3/4 angle, and I know it's kind of hard to tell in the camera, but the bumpers in the back are chrome. They're not silver like the rest of the truck. Opening up the rear here of the truck, here's the door panel in the back. Nice wood trim right here, and then you've got some like kind of padding here on the side for the armrest and a little window control. Here's the seats in the back. They are leather here in the Lariat. They've got some nice contrasted stitching. In terms of how they feel, they're very soft to the touch. And, well, throwing the keys there because we're going to walk in. So, stepping up, it's really easy to get in because this one's got little side steps. They're right there on the side. This cab is massive. Legroom, I mean, it's got a ton of legroom. In terms of headroom, I'm about 5'11", and yeah, I am not hurting for headroom. Now here is a couple cup holders, and they got some vents back here, some heated seats, charging stations, and finally do have the little cup holders that you can press this and those will pop out of there. Oh, and by finally, I mean, I've got to go over one more thing. There is extra storage underneath the seats, so yeah, that's it for the back of the Lariat. Coming up front, we do have keyless entry, so one touch to lock it and then to unlock it. Just got to slide in right there. Now it does have blind spot monitoring for the trailer tow mirrors. You can see how massive those are. Opening up the front here, the padding up here is definitely softer than what's in the back. Again, more of that little wood trim. All of your window controls right here with your mirror controls. And this is a little mirror extender button, which I will show you once we turn the truck on. You've got your lock and unlock and the memory seats. Finally, here are these seats in the front. And again, they are very nicely bolstered and the leather on it is very soft, so they're very comfortable to sit in. There is the little controls for the seat. got the pedal layout just down below, and then down here you've got this for the tailgate drop down, you've got the pedal adjustments, and then you've got the light controls on that little area, and then these are for the mirrors. There's lights on the side, and then the steering wheel is automatically adjustable. Here's one more look before we pop in. To start up this F-350, foot in the brake, push button, and then you can see if it needs to warm up, it'll do that, and then yeah, everything will come to life. Here is the steering wheel in the F-350. Now, zooming in, we've got the volume controls on this side. We've got like your voice command controls, phone controls, all that. And then your cruise control on the other side. Those are the controls for the little center stack, and then that is your stock for the turn signal and also the windshield wipers. And then over here is the column shifter, so you can manually shift through that 10-speed automatic, and then there is the drive modes, which we'll get into that in just a moment. Now we have RPMs over on the left side. On the right side you've got the speed, and then you've got a couple different menus here in the center that you can scroll through. Just gives you vehicle information. The off-road status is pretty cool, but the cool part is the drive modes. So we have a couple drive modes. We've got the normal, tow haul, eco, slippery, and then deep snow and sand, and then obviously it'll go into 4x4. But yeah, I mean, we've got a couple different drive modes on the Super Duty, which is a nice little touch. So we've got our diesel exhaust brake, stability control, hazard lights, hill descent control, and then we've got the lane departure assistance, and then for the camera system. Now here's the view if you pop it into reverse, just what pops up. You got trajectory lines, all that fancy stuff. Now if you press the camera button, this is the view that pops up, and you've got quite a few different views outside of the truck, just so you can pretty much see everything around you. And then it does come with a cargo camera, which I think is pretty neat. And then obviously you do get little auxiliary cameras on top of that. Now here is the Ford infotainment system. The navigation on it functions pretty well. I mean, you can see the touch response time on it. Everything happens at a pretty decent little pace. Ford Pass is a cool little system where you can like remote start from your phone, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the infotainment system. Right below the infotainment system we have the volume controls for the radio, and then it is a dual zone climate. Heated and ventilated seats are a feature, and yes, I have my ventilated seat turned on when it is 44 degrees outside. No questions necessary. We've got our shifter, so we've got 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low, and then it has a locker for the rear. Trailer brake controls, and then the trailer backup system itself. And then you got this nice wood paneling, which covers wireless charging station and a couple of USBs, and then you press it again, covers it right up. A couple cup holders in this little area, and then we got some extra storage here. Here's the center console. Now opening it up, yep, it's big. And then we do have the glove boxes, which one says Super Duty on it, and then you can see that. So it's cool that they give you 2 tiers of glove boxes, and I did not shut that right. Anyways, finally, power outlet. We have all of our little auxiliary switches up here if you want to add any auxiliary items, and then this is for the power rear sliding window. Light controls up here. It does have universal garage door opener, and then full panoramic sunroof here in this F-350. Now let's wrap things up on the interior of this F-350 by going over pricing. So this particular F-350 stickers for $78,000 before any type of market adjustment, which, I mean, it's right in line for pretty much like a fully loaded heavy duty truck that's in a leather package. So yeah, it's expensive though. But anyways, let's take this F-350 out and see how it drives. Before we set off here in the F-350, let's quickly talk about visibility. Visibility of the hoods, just like any other F-350, it kind of just goes and then boom, abruptly ends. Visibility through the mirrors is really good. And by the way, here's that extension function. I wanted to kind of show you guys what it looks like in POV. You can see it extends out for the mirror just to give you a little bit better visibility. And by the way, it's both mirrors at the same time when you press that button, so it's not separate. And then here's visibility all throughout the back of the truck, and there's the look out the sunroof. But we are going to set off, and something that I noticed is, maybe it's just because I'm getting used to driving bigger trucks, but it was actually pretty easy to maneuver this truck through the parking lot, a little bit easier than I remember. And I'm not exactly sure why that was the case, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. Initially setting off here in the F-350, let's talk about road noise and ride quality. In terms of road noise, you hear quite a bit from the Power Stroke, but other than that, just coasting here, hear a little bit of tire noise, but it's pretty minimal. The ride quality, definitely on the back end, it is on the rougher side when you go over things, but when you're just kind of going down the road, it is really smooth for a heavy duty truck. And we're gonna get a little bit on steering here. Well, obviously before this, waiting for that Ford to go through, and probably the Tacoma. Oh, nope, we're good to go. So coming through here, steering is very light. Yeah, there's definitely some on-center vagueness on the steering rack, but it is extremely light. This definitely, yeah, you can see there's quite a bit of on-center vagueness with that, but it's a good steering rack. Now we are getting our acceleration here. Oh, I'm always surprised by these Super Duties with how fast they are. I mean, if you want a fast diesel truck, then yeah, get a Super Duty, because 475 horsepower and 1,050 pound-feet of torque, it is no joke. And that 10-speed is very quick to go through the gears. Now we are taking another turn here, and yeah, again, it's actually pretty easy to maneuver. It doesn't feel like it's gigantic, especially compared to that dually Lariat that I drove. That thing felt like it was gigantic. But let's sum things up here. If you're looking for a heavy duty truck and you want something that's just absolutely crazy with torque figures, yep, the Ford is winning right now. But this Lariat short box is probably going to be the most common configuration that people are going to research into, just because the short bed is large enough. I mean, it's over 6 feet long, and so it still has a decent amount of practicality, but it's not crazy to maneuver like the long bed. And then on top of that, the Lariat package, right, it's your entry-level luxury, so it has all the luxury amenities, but you're not paying for the platinum name or the limited name. And so if you're wanting kind of like the best bang for your buck with the new Super Duty, definitely check out this Lariat F-350. And there we have it, everyone, the all-new 2020 Ford F-350 Lariat. And again, a big shout out and thank you to the Larry Schmiller Ford Lincoln here in Provo, Utah, for providing us with the F-350. Check out the inventory in the link below if you're in the market for new Ford, and if you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe.